We're joined now by Mr. Solomon Arase, the Inspector General of Police. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you, Chamberlain.
Well, yes, indeed, when the change of baton happened, many didn't exactly know what to expect from you, even though there are those who said, well, they kind of know you and your history, how you like to stick to certain things about discipline and getting things done. What would you describe as your approach to policing?
Well, thank you very much, Chamberlain. As I have always said, no police force can be able to get its mandates right without connecting with the community in which they are serving. And my first approach is the hearts and minds approach towards getting members of the public to start appreciating their police force. We cannot do it alone. We're just about 370,000 police officers across the length and breadth of the country. And the security space is so vast that we cannot be everywhere. So the first thing I am trying to do is to connect with the community which we are serving, to say, well, this is your police force. You own it. We've opened ourselves to public accountability, and we are saying, we've done things, we've not been able to do things right, in the past. We have very poor public perception. Members of the public, they see us as people who don't respect their rights, who are always, violating those rights and all these things. I'm saying, no, you can now see a different police force. You can now begin to appreciate that you can also, contribute towards making them accountable to whatever they do.
How?
First and foremost, we've been able to say, okay, those things that gives the Nigerian police force the bad image, the roadblock, pre-trial detention, incivility to members of the public. Let us try and get those things out of our system. Once we're able to get it out of our system, then we'll now begin to tell them, these are the things that we want to do. We believe that you cannot, abuse the rights of, Nigerians. You cannot keep them in custody for long periods than is expected. That is why we are saying we have to start adopting intelligence-led policing. I expect that my police officers should be well trained enough to be able to assemble evidence before they invite somebody to the police station. Once you invite the person to the police station, you must have been able to elicit sufficient evidence to say, they said you did this. The person said, no, I did not do that. You start, adducing evidence to show that he actually did those things. And once you're able to do that, then within 48 hours of your contact with that particular person, with the suspect, you would have made up your mind that that person is not supposed to be in your custody. Or if he's supposed to be in your custody, then you should be able to arraign him in court. So which is intelligence-led policing. I am very, very passionate about that, and I believe that every police officer should have some bookish acquaintance, one way or the other, with how to go about that. Alternatively, if you come in contact with the suspects and you discover that those issues that you are dealing with, they are not stricto sensu criminal matters. They are civil matters, they are commercial transactions, matrimonial disputes. Why not adopt alternative dispute resolution? Try and settle them. One missing link in policing in this country over the years has been we've not been able to place, the social content of, policing. The social content is that we should be able to say, Chamberlain, yourself and a friend, you had some commercial transaction, it did not go well. If it did not go well, are we supposed to criminalize it? Am I supposed to start saying they're obtaining under false pretenses? I should not, a police officer should not do that. You don't criminalize a civil action, you don't criminalize a commercial transaction. All you have to do is to try to settle the parties. You try and say, okay, look, there must be a meeting point between, the dispute that you have, instead of criminalizing it. Whenever you start criminalizing it, then you are now going out of the realm of, policing culture.
But all of these ideas, ideals that you have, how much of it do you want to be impressed upon the police force in a short time?
It's about capacity. And what I intend to do is, to ensure that, the police officers, they are abreast of current trends, in international best practices. How do you police, a security space? For each of the departments, especially, our criminal investigation department, that is where we have some serious challenges. Because
they used to be fantastic many years ago.
Oh yes, they used to. When most of our investigation was intelligence driven. I hope you remember that what today is the DSS, NIA, DIA was an escission from what used to be the special branch. And when we removed that to create those departments, we did not emplace something else that would take the void, which you usually say was the missing link. We did not emplace criminal intelligence as part of our policing culture. And that is exactly what we have been trying to do. In the past 2 years when I was in charge of intelligence, I told the then IG, I said, look, first and foremost, you cannot give what you don't have. There's a void. For us to be able to, make sure that, we are able to address that issue, let us set up an intelligence school. And that was how we set up the intelligence school in Enugu and started training, our intelligence officers, to know how to crime map, the states, the country, and also to make it drive, our investigation process.
But I'm sure you won't be surprised that not many people know that they are still there.
That what?
That intelligence school.
Yes, it's
still very much functional. Is it getting the attention it's supposed
to? Over a year ago, due to paucity of funds, it was shut down, and it was very distressing to me. Because I felt I had put in so much to establish the school, because even after when I established the school, I had already extended training program to other sister agencies, and I even went outside the shores of this country to get our West African sister states to key into those training programs, so that we will be able to have this synergy in dealing with this asymmetric war that we're talking, that like the Boko Haram issue that we're dealing with, so that the collaboration and cooperation between those border states, where we think there are this infiltration, will be able to key in there. And when it was shut down, I was a bit sad. But immediately I came in, it took me just 2 weeks. I have reopened the school, and it's going to remain open throughout the tenure of my stewardship.
That's the question, sustainability, it would seem, is always a key issue. You've talked about 7 things. You want to be friendly to the people. The police truly wants to be the people's friend. You truly want to be accountable to people. Your battle right now is to win the hearts and mind of the people. And you also want to reduce, to a large extent, the areas that, give the police, it would seem, the poor public perception, the friction points, roadblocks. But all of those things, it would seem, as from one IG to the other. What one believes should happen, the other one might not believe should happen. And so it's not like it's a law or it's a rule or it's a system. It will seem that it depends largely on the whims and caprices of whoever it is that is occupying that post at that moment. How do you think then that this could be sustainable, since we're talking about building institutions?
Well, it's about mindsets. It's about telling people that they should, at any point in time, there should be a paradigm shift in whatever you are doing. I will not agree that we've not been able to sustain it over the times. I think the problem we have always had, the mandate of the police is known. The statutory functions of the police, they are known. It is about implementation strategies. I think that is where we sometimes get it wrong. All of us, we have our approach towards implementing these issues. MD Abubakar actually, got the roadblocks out of the way. But I think the enforcement policy, was not robust enough. And that is why what we have tried to do about the roadblocks, apart from, sending enforcement teams to ensure that, there is strict compliance, we have also gone further to now say we should have the void we have created. Something should be put in place. Nature abhors vacuum. We should not just say, okay, despite the fact that we have removed roadblock, occasionally, we cannot lock down, the highways. If, for instance, a car is snatched from Kogi, and we know they are heading towards Abuja. Nothing prevents, the police officers from temporarily creating, a stop and search point. But all I'm saying is that if you are going to do that, it has to be intelligence-led. If you know that the vehicle that you are looking for is a Camry car or a Volkswagen car, why can't you concentrate on that? While you are locking down the highway, you just concentrate on what type of car you're looking for, so that you don't create, that inconvenience that we are trying to prevent people from doing. So it's all about implementation strategy. It is not about that it depends on the whims and caprices of our statutory functions are well spelled out.